first of all, I want to add a pop-up, like the circle, like a pop-up at the beginning, like a transition thing to reveal this animation. I don't want this to stay on the screen all the time. So the way we do that is, let's just go to the top here and click on this ellipse tool and just double click on the ellipse tool. It's creating a oval shape here. And right now I only have a stroke here. I don't have a fill. So I need to create a fill color. Make sure you click on this and then select the yellow color. I already have this yellow color here. You can use the eyedropper tool to select any color you want. Oops, let's cancel. Just click on OK. I have this fill color, and then I can turn off the stroke by just holding down Option on my keyboard and left click a couple times. It's going to turn off. And now let's go to this oval shape. Click on this drop down. Click on this ellipse path, and you can see there's a size. Let's unlink the size proportion so that we can change this circle into this oval shape into a circle. Let's change it to 1080 by 1080. And that's how we get a perfect circle. So I want to make this circle a bit smaller, something like that. And the next thing we want to do is we want to add another mask on top of this circle. So I want to click on this ellipse tool, and then make sure you click on this mask tool here. If you don't click on this mask on top, it's going to draw another shape within this layer. That's not what we want. We want to draw a mask within this layer. So click on the mask. Another thing is when you're drawing a mask, you can start from the perfect center. And then when you draw it, make sure you hit on Shift on the keyboard and then hit on Command on the keyboard. So if you hit on Command on the keyboard, it's going to draw the circle from the center. You see that? When I hit Command on the keyboard, it's drawing the mask from the center. And now I just need to go down to the mask and animate one of the properties, which is the mask expansion. If I toggle around this mask expansion, you can see my mask is growing in and out. So I want to hit this clock here to add a keyframe. And then drag this keyframe forward a little bit and make sure the mask does not exist at the beginning. Drag it all the way to -369. As long as it disappears, it should be okay. And then if I toggle the timeline, the circle is just going to come up like this. So next, I just want to add a easy ease. So double click, select the two keyframes, right click, and then keyframe assistant, easy ease. Just add in a easing, and then go to the graph editor here. You can click on this fit graph to view. Just make sure to manipulate this graph a little bit so that it's got more energy. So the circle is going to pop out like that. That's good. And next, we want to duplicate this mask, Command D, duplicate this mask, and then change this mask mode to subtract. So this is a trick that we always do. We change the mask to subtract and then offset the keyframes. And you can see the effect we're going to get. So duplicate a mask, change it to subtract, and then offset the keyframes. So that's the effect we're going to get after the two masks that we add on the circle. And we can also manipulate the timing however we like. But right now, I feel like the circle is not in the center, so we can just move this whole layer to make sure it's right in the center. So that works. And now all I need to do is to delay the animation of the layers, all the layers beneath it. Just select all these animation that we did before, except for the background, and then drag the layers a couple of frames ahead so that they're not visible on the screen at the beginning. Maybe drag it all the way here. So I want the circle to pop up first and then reveal the animation. Look at that. That's good. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to add some speed trails, just as if the train is moving fast. So the way we do that is we need to go on top here to select this pen tool and then zoom in. Let's draw 2 points, draw a line like this, and then go on top here, make sure we have the fill turned off, hold down Option on the keyboard, click on the fill 3 times, and then go to the stroke, make sure it's in white color. Now we have this line here, white line here, but I still need to make the line thicker, something like that, to change the stroke of the line to 9 points, and then change the butt cap to a round cap. Now we have a line here. So next, what we need to do is we need to add a trim path. So go to this line that we just drew, this layer, and then on here, there's a add button. You can click on that. We can add a trim path effect. So it added a trim path effect here. If I toggle the end and start percentage here, you can see the line is actually drawing on and off. So what we need to do is we need to, around here, this second, we need to maybe just around half a second, hold down the, click on the clock here to put down 2 keyframes and change the ending value to 0 as well. So 0, 0, both starting at 0, and then go forward 10 frames, Command Shift right arrow. So that's how you go forward 10 frames and change all the value to 100%. And next, we can select all of them, keyframe assistant, right click, and then easy ease, go to the graph editor. Same thing as we did before, just drag these curves to make sure it's got more energy. And next, what we need to do is just offset the keyframe. So after we did that, this is the effect we're going to get. You see the line is almost like a speed trail. And right now it's moving too fast. So I need to drag the 2 keyframe at the end, maybe a bit further so that it's got more time. And I need to offset these 2 keyframe even more, just however you like it. But I think right now it works pretty well, like that. That's cool. And now we just need to add more. The easiest way is to duplicate this layer, Command D, and then just make sure you're back on this select tool. Otherwise, you're going to keep drawing with your pen tool. So go back to this select tool, and then you can change the position of it. Maybe put it down here. But we don't want them to come up at the same time, right? So we can offset the frame a little bit. You can hit on U on the keyboard to show the keyframe, and then we can drag this one forward a little bit so that they are happening at different second. That's good. And then we can duplicate another one, drag it all the way on top. But then over here, I want this to be shorter instead of this long. So I need to go back to the pen tool and then click on this one end of the line and pull it back a little bit so that this line is shorter. If we preview, this is what we're going to get. We have 2 long lines and then 1 short lines. Something like that. And now, since we have 3 already in place, to make things faster, we can duplicate 3 together, Command D, and then drag them to the top, drag all of them forward so that they're kind of repeating. But whatever you want to do, you can change it to different places, change the length of it, since your animation is already on there. So you don't need to change anything else, just the position and the length of the speed line. Let's zoom out and take a look at our animation